A crowd has gathered in a town square. They are completely silent. In the center stands the accused. It is wearing a jacket, leather gloves, human clothes. It is a pig. This is a murder trial. The pig is the defendant, formally arrested, given a court-appointed lawyer, tried before a judge for 3 days. The charge, killing a child. The verdict, guilty. The sentence, death by public hanging. The year is 1386. This is not folklore. This is documented law. The court records still exist today. In medieval Europe, animals were legal subjects. They could commit crimes. They could be arrested, imprisoned, and executed under the exact same laws as you. In 1522, a colony of rats was summoned to court for destroying a grain harvest. The rats didn't appear. Their lawyer argued the roads were too dangerous because of cats. The judge found this reasonable. The case was postponed. In 1474, a rooster was burned alive at the stake in Basel, Switzerland. Its crime, laying an egg. The Hussey prosecution called it evidence of the devil. The rooster was found guilty. It burned in front of a crowd that had come specifically to watch. Right now, wherever you are, think about something ordinary you did this morning. Making coffee, checking your phone, getting dressed. Every single one of those things would mark you as dangerously strange in this world. You are about to spend a full day inside it. If this is your first time on this channel, subscribe now. This is what we do here. We rebuild the world's history forgot to warn you about. And I promise you, the animal trials are the most normal thing you will see today. This is Medival Europe for you. You wake up in the dark, not metaphorically, actually in the dark. There are no windows in this room. Glass is for the wealthy. You have shutters. There is one room. This is where your family sleeps, eats, cooks, and one day dies. Your bed is a straw mattress on the floor. You share it, not just with your family. If a traveler stayed last night, you shared it with them too. A stranger, in your bed, last night. That was not considered strange. Refusing to share was considered rude. The smell hits you before you are fully awake. Smoke from last night's fire, unwashed bodies, wet straw, and underneath all of it, something animal. Your livestock spent the winter inside this building to stop them from freezing. The pigs, the chickens. The smell has soaked into the walls, the floor, the thatch above you. You stopped noticing it years ago. You were born into it. You have no morning routine. You have survival tasks. The first thing you drink this morning is ale, not because you want, because the water outside will kill you. The nearest water source runs downhill past the tannery, the butcher, the latrine ditch. Drinking it means fever, cramping, dysentery, dying slowly over 2 weeks in this room. So you drink ale, every meal, every day. Everyone in this village does the same. Your 5-year-old is drinking ale right now, not strong ale. A weak brew called small ale, low in alcohol, but ale, every morning. From the age they could hold a cup, because no safer option existed. Think about what you gave your child to drink this morning. Now think about what giving them anything else would mean in this world. You haven't eaten yet. And if you think the ale is the most disturbing part of breakfast, you are not ready for the food. The food is pottage. It is always pottage. A thick grey soup in a pot that is rarely fully emptied, just topped up each day. Yesterday's pottage, the day before's pottage, whatever survived from last week, whatever vegetables made it through winter go in. A scrap of bone if you are fortunate. This is breakfast. This is lunch. This is dinner. This is every meal, every day. Now the bread. The bread looks normal. It is not normal. Most bread is made from rye, and rice stored in damp conditions grows a fungus called ergot. Ergot baked into bread causes vivid hallucinations, burning sensations in the limbs, and gangrene. Villages where the grain store was contaminated would descend into mass hysteria overnight. Historians now believe entire witch trial outbreaks were ergot events. A town convinced their neighbors were witches, sending them to burn because the bread was bad. Here is the fact nobody expects. Medieval peasants had better teeth than people living in the 19th century. Not because of hygiene, because sugar was so expensive it barely existed in their diet. The thing that destroyed teeth across the modern world had not yet reached ordinary people. Purslane, the weed you pull from your garden and throw away today, was a cultivated prized vegetable. The sheep passing on the road outside are 1/3 the size of a modern sheep. Everything here is smaller, thinner, less. Think about the last meal you ate and how little you questioned it. You had no idea how fortunate you were. What comes next will make even this food feel like something worth protecting. Every man in England between the ages of 15 and 60 is required by law to practice archery. Not encouraged, required, every Sunday, after church, to the butts at the edge of the village. The longbow won Agincourt, it won Crécy, it won Poitiers. The longbow requires 10 years to master. You start at 7. Skeletal remains of English archers can be identified by the bone deformities in the drawing arm. Your body becomes the weapon before the bow does. On every other day of the week, you farm, sunrise to sunset. Every day the weather allows it. 3 fields, 1 in grain, 1 in legumes, 1 lying fallow. Your grandfather ploughed these furrows. Your son will plough them after you. At 7 years old, you stop being a child. You are apprenticed to a trade household, not your parents, strangers. You will see your family perhaps once a year. This is not considered cruel. This is called giving your child a future. Now, the jobs that require a separate introduction. Pure finders. Walk the streets collecting dog excrement. Pure. That is the word they used. Pure. For dog excrement. Tanneries pay good money for it. It is a primary ingredient in softening leather hides. Gong farmers empty the cesspits beneath wealthy households. By hand. By law, gong farmers are only permitted to work between 9 at night and 5 in the morning. They are required to live outside the town walls. Nobody wants them nearby. They are paid more than most labourers. The work is not in question. The proximity is. Every boot, belt, saddle, and book cover in the medieval world passed through the tannery vat. This world runs on work that no one speaks of, and everyone depends on. You fall ill. The physician arrives. He does not examine the wound, the rash, or the fever. He examines the urine. He checks the position of the stars. The body contains 4 humours: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, black bile. When you are ill, one of the 4 humours is out of balance. The treatment is to restore the balance by removing blood. If blood does not work, leeches. The recommended dose in some medieval texts is up to 70 leeches applied at once. Many patients died not from the illness but from the treatment. Mercury is prescribed for skin disease. It is rubbed directly into the skin. The mercury poisoning produces symptoms that look like the disease getting worse, so he prescribes more mercury. If you are left-handed, the physician has a separate diagnosis for that as well. Left-handedness is associated with the devil, with weakness, with moral deficiency. Medieval average life expectancy is often quoted as 35. That number is pulled down almost entirely by child mortality. If you survive to 15, you will most likely live to 60. The danger was not adulthood. The danger was getting there. You survived childhood. You survived the medicine. You are still here. Now look at what people are wearing. What you wear is not a choice. It is the law. Sumptuary laws dictate exactly which fabrics, colours, and furs each rank may wear. Purple is reserved for royalty. Scarlet for the high nobility. Wearing the wrong colour is a crime. Enforcement is public. Being caught in the wrong clothing is publicly humiliating. Now, the shoes, poulaines, the pointed shoes. The tip length indicates your social rank. Noblemen's poulaines were sometimes so long they had to be chained to the knee to walk. Everyone in this world has lice: the peasant, the merchant, the lord. Lice do not observe rank. Bathing is not avoided because medieval people are dirty by nature. Bathing is avoided because learned physicians warn that hot water opens the pores. Open pores allow disease to enter. The physician recommends against bathing during pestilence, so the wealthy carry pomanders instead, balls of aromatic herbs and spices held to the nose. Miasma theory: bad air causes disease. Good smell prevents it. This is a world where smell and status and medicine are the same conversation. You have broken a law. You may not know which one. The forest does not belong to you. The forest belongs to the Lord. Forest laws make it a serious crime to hunt, trap, or even collect fallen wood without permission. The penalty for poaching a deer is blinding or castration. You cannot afford a trial. A trial costs money. Evidence costs money. A lawyer costs more. If you cannot prove innocence with witnesses or money, the court uses God. Trial by ordeal. The accused is subjected to a physical test. God decides the outcome. Trial by cold water. Innocent people sink. Guilty people float. You cannot win this. Hue and cry. If you witness a crime, you are legally required to shout and chase. Failure to join the hue and cry is itself a crime. You must chase. But if you can reach a church, you are safe. For 40 days. The right of sanctuary. No officer of the law may enter a church to make an arrest. 40 days of sanctuary. After that, you must confess, abjure the realm, and leave England forever. You walk to the coast barefoot, carrying a wooden cross, and board the first ship out. The sun goes down. The curfew bell rings. Curfew, from the French couvre-feu, cover the fire. Now the dark, not dim, not shadowy, dark. Outside is worse. There are no streetlights. There is no ambient glow from nearby towns. Medieval people sleep differently to you. 2 sleeps. First sleep from dark until midnight, then an hour or 2 awake, then second sleep until dawn. The waking hour between sleeps is used for prayer, quiet conversation, or visiting a neighbor. Night terrors are universal in this world. They have a name, the mare, the nightmare, a creature that sits on your chest while you sleep. The word nightmare has nothing to do with horses. Mare is the Old English word for this creature. You are lying in the dark, in a world with no light, with a creature on your chest. Dawn is still 4 hours away. Dawn. And then, in 1347, something arrives from the east. The Black Death. Within 4 years, between a third and half of Europe is dead. Entire villages emptied. Entire family lines ended in a single season. Now here is the paradox. The Black Death killed half of Europe, and in doing so, it accidentally freed the other half. Labor became scarce. Wages rose. Serfs demanded freedom. Lords had no choice. The feudal system that defined this world for 400 years began to collapse. Before we go, the words you use every day that came from this world. Disaster, from the Italian disastro. Dis, against. Astro, star. A disaster was not a catastrophe. It was a bad star alignment. The sky was the cause. Gossip, from the Old English god sib. God and sib, meaning kin. A godsib was your godparent, someone spiritually close, someone you told things to. Villain, from the Latin villanus, a person attached to a villa, a serf. The nobility used villain as an insult. The meaning followed the contempt. This world built the language you think in, the systems you live inside, the fears you carry at night. You wouldn't last a day, but it lasted 400 years. If this changed how you see the world, that is the point. Subscribe. There is more of this world left to show you.